session. Ms. Clark, please call the roll.
Board Member Porter.
Here.
Board Member Murphy.
Here.
Board Member Love.
Here.
Board Member McKinney.
Here.
Board Member Otay.
Here.
Board Chair Coleman.
Present.
You have 6 in the affirmative.
Thank you. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. And please remain standing for a moment of silence tonight in honor of King Thompson, a student at Egypt Elementary School.
To the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated. We are now on to the approval of the agenda. Are there any amendments? Interim Superintendent Richmond.
Yes, Board Chair, we'd like to add Goodwill Excel to the agenda, please.
$9.18 Goodwill Excel Center. Any board members? There being no further amendments to the agenda, is there a motion for the approval of the agenda and a second?
I motion to approve the agenda.
Motion by Board Member Murphy, second by Board Member Otay. Excuse me, Board Member Porter. Roll call vote, please.
Board Member Porter.
Yes.
Board Member Murphy.
Aye.
Board Member Love.
Aye.
Board Member McKinney.
Yes.
Board Member Otay.
Yes.
Board Chair Coleman.
Aye.
You have 6 in the affirmative.
That motion is adopted. Vice Chair Love. Chair's report, there is no report tonight. We are now on to the superintendent's report.
Board Chair, there's no report tonight.
Thank you, Board Member McKinney.
I would like to, thank you, Chair. I would like to ask the superintendent a question about the 3 investments that we are requesting for our budget, for the 25-26 budget. Could you elaborate on those 3 investments?
Yes, Board Member McKinney, we will be asking for the approximately $34.9 million or $35 million in fire life safety and our capital improvement. We'll also be asking for approximately $2.2 million in regards to Literacy Mid-South. And last but not least, we'll be asking for approximately $1 million for Goodwill Excel on tomorrow when we go before the County Commission.
And just to be clear, these are investments that we are seeking from the County Commission to invest in these one-time allocations.
One-time investments, yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
No further lights. We'll now move on to staff action items. The first item on the agenda tonight is 9.1 approval, American Way Middle School Apple Computer, Inc., in the amount of $205,329. Superintendent.
Thank you, Board Chair. It is recommended the Shelby County Board of Education approve the purchase for Apple Computer, Inc. in the amount of $174,279 for 420 iPads, $31,050 for 450 Apple Pencils for American Way Middle School. The total cost is $205,329, which will be funded by the State School Improvement Grant Funds, also known as SIG 2.
No lights. 9.2 approval, Hamilton High School Avery Jones Educational Solutions Unistar Sparco Computers, Inc., $188,690.60.
Yes, board chairs recommend that the Shelby County Board of Education approve the purchase to Avery Jones Educational Solutions in the amount of $152,280.60 for computer hardware, and Unistar Sparco Computers, Inc. for computer hardware, deployment, and asset tagging in the amount of $36,410 for Hamilton High School for computer devices and deployment of the hardware. The total cost is $188,690.60. SIG 1 and SIG 2 grant funds will be used for this allocation.
No lights. 9.3, approval Panorama Education, Inc., $197,400.
Yes, board chairs recommend that the Shelby County Board of Education approves the contract to Panorama Education, Inc. in the amount of $197,400 for the purchase of student perception survey services. The data collected from the survey provides valuable insight about teaching practices, student engagement, and school climate. This is the first renewal option under RFP 092321FM, with one option to renew remaining in the amount of $197,400.
Board Member McKinney.
Thank you, Dr. Richmond, and thank you for responding to the question that I had during our board committee meeting around the perception of the pedagogical perception for our 9th through 12th graders. And if I understand correctly, that it has decreased since the fall of 2022. Is that correct? And we can see how they surveyed for spring 2025 online. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And just for the public's sake, I would like to let them know that they can go to is there a way where they can go to see those students' perception reports for spring 2025?
I'll defer to Dr. Tankston. Dr. Tankston.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, Board Member McKinney and Interim Superintendent Richmond. Thank you. That's a great question. That information is shared with our principals and with our teachers, but I do not think we have access where parents can go in and see that student data at this time. But again, that can be shared with the with the principals and the teachers.
Okay. Dr. Richmond, if it's allowable, if we can figure out a way to make sure that we can share that. And I'd also like, for clarity, for people to understand what pedagogical effectiveness means in terms of that particular survey when they're asked that question.
Yes.
Yes.
Dr. Whitelaw, do you want to add additional context to that question?
Thank you, Superintendent Richmond. Board Member McKinney, we can look into that because I just leaned over to Bill that we just need to ask for the data and have it in aggregate form and just make sure that we're not sharing any student information. So that may be something that we might need to work with a company with and just see exactly what we need to do. But our thinking is that we can, but we just need to find out for sure and get that information back to the superintendent.
Thank you, Dr. Whitelaw.
I think I wanted to make sure that everyone understood what they're looking at when they look at what pedagogical means in terms of effectiveness. And I think the way you all explained it to me, it means the quality of teaching, how the students view the teaching and how much they're learning. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that when we put it up, everybody knows what they're looking at.
Yes, ma'am. And probably for context, we may need to do in a work session to go over the teacher evaluation where you have your qualitative and your quantitative side. This insight perception survey is used as part of the qualitative side for teacher evaluations.
Seeing no further lights. 9.4, purchase approval, Perpetual Capital Holding, doing business as Novatech, $166,502.25.
Yes, board chairs recommend that the Shelby County Board of Education approve the purchase to Perpetual Capital Holdings, DBA Novatech, in the amount of $166,502.25 for the Department of Exceptional Education for special education printer devices and toner. This purchase will be for a quantity of 675 printers with corresponding toner cartridges. Pricing for printer devices is based on RFP 120224 LP.
No lights. 9.5, approval, Tennessee Book Company, Class Gator Thrivis, $230,000.
Yes, Board Chairs recommend that the Shelby County Board of Education approves the contract Tennessee Book Company for the use of the Classer Gather Thrivis sole source, allowing teachers and students access to digital copies of the textbooks for a total cost of $230,000 for the 2025-26 school year in compliance with TCA 49622, effective July 1, 2024.
9.6, approval, Tennessee Book Company textbook inventory, $155,250.
Yes, Board Chairs recommend that the Shelby County Board of Education approves the contract with Tennessee Book Company RFP 011725 LB in the amount of $51,750 per year across 3 years for a total of $155,250 for a textbook inventory management system to modernize the district's resource management infrastructure.
Nine point seven, approval, University of Virginia Partnership for Leaders in Education, ESL Strategies, $37,500.
Yes, Board Chairs recommend the Shelby County Board of Education approve the agreement for professional learning and follow-up consultation services from the University of Virginia Partnership for Leaders in Education, UVA, PLE, in the amount of $37,500.
No lights. 9.8, approval, University of Virginia Partnership for Leaders in Education Summer Leadership Support, $66,000.
Yes, Board Chairs recommend that the Shelby County Board of Education approves the agreement for 12 CSI schools and one district leader to engage in customized professional learning through UVA Executive Educational Summer Program, June 23 through 25, through 2025 in Charlottesville, Virginia, in the amount of $65,000.
66.
66,000.
Thank you.
Sorry. Thank you.
9.9, approval, custodial contract extension, HES Facility Services, in the amount of $4,025,438.92.
Yes, Board Chairs recommend that the Shelby County Board of Education extend the terms of the contract with HES Facility Service for the provision of custodial services for 38 facilities in Custodial Operations Zone 4. The extended term is from July 1, 2025 to December 31st, 2025 in the amount of, again, $4,025,438.92.
Board Member McKinney.
This is a question just for the next, I think, 3. And this is around our custodial services. I know we're just extending it to the end of the year. I just would like to get some insight from Dr. Richmond and administration as to what we plan on doing moving forward once you figure that out, as soon as we know something.
Okay.
Okay.
Nine point 10, approval custodial contract extension, Parku LLC, $2,019,713.22.
Yes, Board Chairs recommend that the Shelby County Board of Education extend the term of the contract with Parku LLC for the provision of custodial services for 22 facilities in Custodial Operations Zone 1, which includes the addition of Caldwell Guthrie. The extended term is from July 2025 to December 31st, 2025, in the amount of $2,019,713.22.
9.11, approval custodial contract extension, Service Master Clean, SPE LLC, $1,893,026.30.
Yes, Board Chair, it is recommended that the Shelby County Board of Education extend the term of the contract with Service Master Clean, SPE LLC, for the provision of custodial services for 22 facilities in custodial operations Zone 1. The extended term is from July 1, 2025 to December 31st, 2025 in the amount of $1,893,026.30.
9.12, approval education logistics incorporated in the amount of $205,133.37.
Yes, Board Chair, it is recommended the Shelby County Board of Education approve the contract for Education Logistics, Inc. to provide bus routing software and services in the amount of $205,133.37 for the 2025 school year. First one-year option approved in the initial 3-year contract.
Vice Chair Love.
Has the parents' complaints went down?
Parent complaints regarding
Bus
bus companies. I'll defer to Mr. Langston, and I also see Mr. Weary and Ms. Williams in the back.
The reason I ask, because now they can track the bus company.
Thank you, Dr. Richmond, Vice Chair Love. I will say this year we haven't had a lot of complaints. Where we have had complaints in instances, Chair Coleman mentioned last week, we've been able to put them out quickly. But I will say the fact that we've added, and I want to be clear that this system does the routing for us, but it also adds the parent portal, which they can track the buses. But I will say that the complaints, fingers crossed, knock on woods, have been minimum this year, and we hope to keep it that way.
Is the team tracking complaints? What I would like for us to do would be to bring that before the board at some point during either a committee meeting or a work session, so that we can show them where they're going down.
No further lights. 9.13, approval Power School Group LLC, $2,399,542.58.
Yes, Board Chairs, recommend that Shelby County Board of Education approve the contract for Power School Group LLC in the amount of $2,399,542.58 for a one-year renewal and continued use of Power School SIS, Power School Unified Enrollment, Power School Unified Talent, which also includes our Professional Learning Zone, PLZ, and Power School SIS Customization, Maintenance, and Support. Power School is an approved single-source vendor.
Dr. Richmond, have we had any parents or anyone call, because we know about Power School was recently on the news, have we had anybody reach out saying that their child's information was compromised or potentially compromised?
At this point, I'm not aware of any complaints. I will again defer to staff. I'm looking at our Deputy General Counsel, Ms. Bailey, as well as well, Mr. Bailey is not here. I see Ms. Morden, I'm sorry, our Deputy Chief, Ms. Morden, Ms. Bailey, and also Mr. Langston and Mr. White. Have either of you all, any of you all had any complaints or heard of any complaints? So staff has signaled that there hasn't been any complaints or any calls. So at this point, the answer would be no.
Okay, one more question. Are our parents aware that there was a potential compromise so that they can be prepared or be aware that there was a potential, because everybody don't watch the news and some people may not know, so I think they gave credit monitoring for a while, so our parents, are we relaying that information to our parents?
Excellent question. Again, I'll defer to Mr. White. Or Ms. Morton.
So, good evening, board members. The district did send out communication in January when we were first notified. We are continuing to work with Power School on additional notification, and I do think that we as a district need to do some additional communication.
Totally agree with you.
Great question.
Board Member Murphy?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I think he just cleared that up because I did have some complaints from some parents that were afraid that their business were compromised. And so with you speaking on that today, I thank you so much for just giving me clarity to make sure that our parents and our kids are safe at this time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Vice Chair Love?
How many respondents to the RFP did we receive?
How many respondents, Mr. White?
There hasn't been a recent RFP for Power School.
The last time you did it?
I honestly don't know. It was several years ago. A system like this is not something you have to go out for bid very often because of the nature of it. There's an exemption for that. So Board Member Love, it's been many, many years, to tell you the truth.
If Power School was to go out of business tomorrow, how would we communicate with the parents, and how would we get the grades and the teachers do the attendance?
It's a great question. There is no easy substitute for a system like this. Power School is the world's largest student information system provider, so if that were to happen, it would, it would be something on a global scale for the world of student information and state reporting. We would, quite frankly, probably have to resort to some fairly rudimentary methods until we were able to get something else stood up. But it takes a good 2 years to actually convert student information systems. It is a long, lengthy process.
And I'm concerned about the parents' process. You said you communicated with them in January. To all parents or just some parents?
I believe that communication actually went out to all parents. Yeah.
Thank you.
I've got colleagues confirming that. But I do believe that we need to strengthen that communication.
Yeah, I agree.
I see Ms. Morton. Ms. Morton?
Yes, good evening, everybody. I just wanted to clarify, just to make sure that it's clear from the board's perspective, that there were security breaches here. There were data breaches, and we do believe that there may have been parents, staff, or students that were affected by that. So when we talk about the complaints, it's my understanding that we've not received anything from any particular parent saying, I've seen evidence that somebody's tried to use my social security number or anything like that, that there's been any impact on anybody. So I just wanted to make sure that we were given accurate information there.
Thank you.
Board Member Murphy?
Clarity, and maybe this is a question that one of you can ask. Thank you, Madam Chair. Do we have anything in place just in case it happens again, or as Commissioner Love said, what if it just breaks down tomorrow? Do we have anything in place that we can still track, or will we just be in limbo and we have to go back to paper and pencil?
I'll answer that for Mr. White. I think we would just have to go back to what we used to use, which were Scantrons and green attendance notebooks are what teachers use.
Thank you. That's a lot of work.
9.14, purchase approvals, Safeware Inc., $487,980.
Board Chair, thank you. It is recommended that the Shelby County Board of Education approves the purchase request for Safeware Inc. in the amount of $487,980 for the purchase of a training simulator.
$9.15, contract amendment, Bolton High School B4 Applied Inc.
Yes, Board Chair, it is recommended Shelby County Board of Education amend the Bolton roof replacement contract with B4 Applied Inc. to extend the contract end date to December 30th, 2025. There's no change in cost.
9.16, approval Proximity Learning, Inc., $4,691,700.
Yes, Board Chairs recommend that Shelby County Board of Education approve Proximity Learning, Inc., contract in the amount of $4,691,700 to secure certified teachers for live virtual instruction in tested subjects in grades 6 through 12 in middle and high schools where vacancies have persisted. The agreement is for 10 months.
Board Member Otey.
Great evening, Superintendent, Interim Superintendent, Board Chair. Question, I must have missed it in committee. Will we have a teacher or a proximity teacher for every classroom? I've received some complaints from parents not having a certified teacher or any teacher.
Yeah, we probably do not have one for every classroom. This contract, as it reads, are for grades 6 through 12. So if you think in terms of, let's say, elementary school, if there's a teacher who's resigned or retired or maybe out ill, that job in particular may not have been backfilled. So there is a possibility. This is for mainly grades 6 through 12. And remember, this was a late implementation.
Okay.
So again, if vacancies have occurred throughout the year, there is a possibility that there may not be a proximity teacher at this time.
Okay. I'm looking at the amount for proximity, so this is for 10 months, right? And that's just based on what's used, right, from our previous conversation?
Yes, for the school
Okay.
year and the exact amount of teachers and sections that will be used.
Okay. And, all right, sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Vice Chair Love.
Interim Superintendent, I want to know what the actual damage is for our students' learning since we did this so late in the year. What the actual impact.
Yes, ma'am. Vice Chair Love, we'll work on getting that data. I think what that data will probably have to consist of will be us going back and looking at schools where perhaps they may have had to have a sub or may not have had a teacher throughout the year. I think what ended up happening in many instances, from what staff has told me, is that principals made some early provisions to account for classes that may not have had teachers by shuffling or moving students into classes. So again, we would have to do some research, but we know whenever a student does not have a certified, highly effective teacher in front of them, it's going to impact their learning.
Thank you.
9.17, donation acceptance, White Station Middle School Partners, White Station Middle School Partners in Education, $17,757.
Yes, ma'am. Madam Chair, it is recommended that the Shelby County Board of Education approves a donation of $17,757 from White Station Middle School Partners in Education, awarded to White Station Middle School to support the student instructional program and professional development for the Tennessee Science Teacher Association and Teacher Ease.
Seeing no lights. 9.18, Goodwill Excel.
Yes, Madam Chair. It is recommended that the Shelby County Board of Education approve Goodwill Excel Center Mid-South and opening 2 new locations, one in each of the zip codes 38108 and 38134. These new locations will replace 2 previously approved zip codes, upholding the board's consent for Goodwill Excel Memphis to operate a total of 4 expansion sites. The purpose would be to enable Goodwill Excel to establish 2 additional adult high school locations, one inside Shelby County Correctional Center located at 38134 in August 2025, and the other at Promise Academy located in 38108 in August 2026. Can we go to the next slide for the amount? I think earlier I shared the amount. I think the amount is approximately 1,094,000 and some change. I don't have it in front of me now, but I think that's. Would you share that on the mic, on the record for me, Mr. Langston, the exact amount?
Thank you, Dr. Richmond. Again, this is an estimate based on the number of students that's expected, but it's $1,094,250.
Vice Chair Love.
How much are we going to have to put up on the front end?
I think at this time, based on the question from Board Member McKinney and what Mr. Langston and I are prepared to do, are to invest in Goodwill Excel, and to help us by investing in that, by front loading us the $1,094,250.
What if they don't invest? Are there projects that we're going to have to offset for a year or two because we're giving them this money?
I think that'll be left up to the board. Again, we're taking it to the county commission, asking them for an investment based on the board's recommendation.
They didn't answer my question. Yeah. Are there projects, hypothetically,
Hypothetically, we would use some of our Fund 1 budget.
thank you.
Board Member McKinney.
Thank you, Dr. Richmond and Mr. Langston. I want to be clear in terms of the zip codes. We are not expanding the zip codes. We are replacing 2 existing with 2 new. Is that what I understand?
Mr. Langston? Or Ms. Morton?
Yes, thank you. I'm sorry. My understanding of the request is that it is not in replacement of the other zip codes as far as the options that Goodwill Excel would have, but that it's a replacement in the sense that they still can only have 4 schools, which is the amount that is approved right now. So they would have to, they're going to be approved in more than 4 zip codes, so they're going to have to pick and choose which ones because they've only got 4 schools. But they still would be able to open schools under 1 or more of the other zip codes that were previously approved.
Okay, to be clear, the maximum currently under this particular contract revision would be 4 schools.
Yes.
And it's a total of how many zip codes now? 6? Is that right?
6.
6 zip
6,
codes?
that's right.
Okay. All right. I'm super excited about the opportunity with the correction facility, and I'm super excited about our ability to work collaboratively with Goodwill Excel to go to the county commission, particularly around asking for the $1.9 million for the adult students who are incarcerated, understanding that this is a shared responsibility. And so whatever we can do tomorrow to get that across to our county commissioners, I hope that we can do that, and however we can support, we should.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, ma'am.
Vice Chair Love.
What is the number of incarcerated individuals?
I see Mr. Schuler in the audience. Mr. Schuler?
Yes, ma'am. Well, there's currently 1,100 residents in the Shelby County Corrections, but about between 500 and 600 at any one time do not have a high school diploma.
And I told you this before. I want to know how many parents of students in our schools are incarcerated so we can help support the students.
Yes, and I've shared that information with them, and they said they would gather that information. I think what you're asking is the students who are going to enroll with us.
Yeah.
You would like to know how many of them are parents at that time.
Yeah, yeah.
We can definitely get that information when that happens.
Yeah. Hypothetically, how long? 2 months, a month?
For what? To get that information?
Yeah.
Well, from the time that you guys give me the okay, we'll start that enrollment process and start going through the vetting process. I'm working with them currently right now to kind of come up with a rubric. I think, and I talked to Ms. McKinney about this. We'd set up a rubric, like who's closest to be released, you know, so, and then how close they are to earning a diploma, so we could help the ones who are closest to being released into our community, so we could help them get their diploma first. And so we'd set up that rubric like that, if that makes sense. So that, of course, there'll be some residents that don't have any high school credits.
Yeah.
And then there'll be some inmates that only need 4 or 5 credits to graduate. So depending where they're at, you know, will be how quick, no different than the adult high school that you guys have or us. It kind of depends on what they come in with, how long it will take them to earn their diploma. But I definitely agree with you. As soon as we get the okay, and we'll start getting that list of, we know who those residents are, and we really haven't started marketing it yet because we didn't want to put it out there until we got your guys okay, because we don't really know the exact start date yet, because even Mr. Langston and I have talked about, and I kind of say, let's say the commissioners don't want to go ahead with giving us some money. I've already agreed with him that we'd move the start date back to maybe January, so that would only be half the cost as opposed to a full cost right now, if that makes sense to everybody. So him and I have talked about that, and I've also talked to the Shelby County Corrections, and they're more than okay with that, and, you know, whenever we'd want to start it. So, so if we need to do that to save funds, we're more than willing to do that too. So, again, I'd just like to say, like Ms. McKinney said, we're going to do whatever it takes to make this happen.
Thank you. I have one more question for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's just say an individual is getting out in a couple of months, but they have a couple of months to get their GED. Will y'all, will you assist them when getting their GED when they get out?
Well, we do a couple different things. One, we don't help with GEDs. We help with a regular high school diploma, so they earn credits. So, and we've already worked that with them too. So let's say a student, a resident with inside there is going through it, then he or she gets released. We would automatically be able to shift them to come with one of our schools that would be happening opening. So we actually worked that. We've already talked about that with them. So that we could work on them when they're being released to make that happen.
Thank you.
So, thank you. Anything?
I have a question, Mrs. Schuyler. Is there appetite to talk with the city council for helping fund this?
Well, I haven't, because it's actually the county that is the one who manages the Shelby County Corrections and not the city. So I didn't go to them because I didn't want to muddy up the water, to be honest with you.
But they're also residents of the city.
Well, I'm not denying that. I'm not denying that piece at all. So, to be honest, I just didn't reach out to them because I didn't want to upset the commissioners by any way, to make them thinking that they weren't giving me the answer I wanted, so I was going to go to somebody else. So I'm trying to keep everybody happy. It's like being married to 3 people.
Answer.
It's like being married to 3 people.
Great answer.
I suggest we ask. Nothing beats an ask. Nothing harms us by at least asking, because like I stated, they are residents of the city.
Right. And to be honest with you, Ms. Coleman, I really didn't have a contact there. You know what I mean? I didn't have a way in yet. So if you can help me get a way in, I'll ask anybody.
Yes.
I'll pass a hat in here.
Chief Langston will get you a contact, because that's less money we have to.
Thank you. And Tito already told me to dress nice tomorrow. But he said not nicer than him. Any other questions?
Any other questions on that?
Thank you, Mr. Schuyler.
And a big thank you to Mr. Langston for everything. I want to say that. Thank you.
Thank you. We're now on to board items. 10.1, proposed policies, first reading.
Good afternoon. For the board policies, it is recommended that the Shelby County Board of Education approves the proposed policy revisions to the following: 2006, Purchasing Authority; 3001, Multi-Hazard Emergency Planning; 4004, Fringe Benefits; 4031, Substitute Teachers; 5018, Adult High School and Night Schools; 6049, Assignment of Students to Classes. We discussed all of these policies in the committee meeting, but I do want to point out under Policy 4031, Substitute Teachers, to align with Superintendent Richmond's request, we have added language that's highlighted on page 26 to ensure that our substitute teachers receive training around our policies and procedures, and we also added language that will require our substitute teachers to align with ethical standards when working for the school district.
Thank you.
Thank you, Interim Superintendent Richmond, for that. 10.2, approval immigration resolution.
I'll take out the resolution. I'm sorry. It's on the screen. You want to read it again or not?
That's up to you. You don't have to read.
Okay. I think we had everybody to sign on. I think that's present, so I don't think we have any additions. Oh, did we, Rashawn, did we,
The language was
interim?
already there.
Hmm?
The language was already there. We didn't change.
Did we, interim, did we get the language? I think it was like a couple of words.
Yeah.
Did
Board
we get
member
that?
Vice Chair Love had a couple of words that she wanted to
I
add.
think Rashawn was gonna make the edits.
I just wanted to be reflective that we abide by the state laws and the federal laws.
Yeah.
That language was already in there, correct? Okay, perfect, yep.
That's it.
No additions.
Only thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome, thank you.
It will be read into record at our work session, our business meeting.
I think McKenzie signed on that day.
We'll double check with the two that had not signed on to get them to sign before our business meeting. We gonna let them go early, Dr. Richards?
Yes, ma'am. Well, I don't know if a lot of people going home early. I think some of us may have some graduations to attend, but I do want to thank staff for doing an excellent job. Thank you again, staff.
Thank you, and thank you for staying with us. This meeting is adjourned.
All right, good job.